Oslo, Norway. The Tiger City. This beautiful and historic Nordic town might not be at the top of your list of nerdy worldly destinations, but take a closer look and you'll find that it's full of awesome things to do for gamers and geeks. Thanks to Battlefield 5, which takes place partly in Norway, me and my co-host, the super cool YouTuber Meghan Camarena, had a chance to explore Oslo to see what makes the city what it is, both new and old. Tilt is an impressive 3-story arcade with a consistently rotating collection of classic arcade games, pinball tables, shuffleboard decks, and even bubble hockey. It's an incredibly special place that very clearly has a deep love and affection for arcade culture, and it's genuinely one of the best arcade bars in the world.
Did we go through all our money already? Okay, well, it used to be a really good game. Arcades represented friendship, like it represented people coming together and also sort of working and collaborating with other people towards a shared goal where occasionally you will yell at each other and fight with each other.
Arcades were cool for me too because you would actually start to see more, it wasn't a lot, but I would see like way more girls.
Yeah.
Whether they were just there like hanging out, it was just nice to like play video games and see other people that, you know, were like me.
Totally, because otherwise video games were sort of a boys' club back in the day.
Oh, they definitely were. It was like weird that I played video games, but I like didn't care. I'm like, yeah, this stuff's cool. I'm not about to play Barbies, but I did, I love Barbies. Dude, Time Crisis 2, it's like right over there. It just brought back so much nostalgia. I used to play that game with my big brother.
Sorry about that.
It's all right. I got you. I was really good, and he would be like, dang, you're really good at this. We beat it together. Here's how video games worked in my household. My brother would beat a game, and I'd sit there and watch him. I accidentally deleted his Ocarina of Time save file.
What?
Yeah, and I was never allowed. I was like trying to make a new game so I could play. It was
you could go to jail for that. That was like 5 years in state pen.
I really should have never shared that story. He will never let me forget it, and now neither will the internet. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Whoa! It's about to be Mighty Ducks up in here.
Oslo is a historic city with a deep story, and a part of that story is wrapped up in World War II. Memorials like this one, named the Osvald-gruppen Memorial, can be seen throughout the city and serve as a constant reminder of the sacrifice that resistance fighters made while challenging Nazi soldiers in order to preserve freedom.
These people, they lived it. They have like grandparents that went through it. And like these statues are like always a reminder that they came out of it.
It's an awesome symbolism of how like tremendously inspiring people can be. And it's a good message right now too.
Definitely.
You'd be remiss to visit the city and not take a moment to see these monuments in person. Tucked away in a spacious loft overlooking Oslo is VR Games Zone, an appointment-based virtual reality gaming lounge where players can unwind, play games, and put on fancy VR suits to team up and solve terrifying escape rooms.
So we need to adjust it up and down or to the sides.
Got it.
There's a picture for you.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Cool. It's the apocalypse. I've always waited for this.
Same.
All right, I'm making my way over here.
Good job, I'm proud of you.
Okay.
Yes!
Oh, right in front of you.
Oh my God! Whoa! Do you remember when the Oculus kit came out? It was only for devs, but you know, if you were sneaky enough, you could order one. I did, because I was like, this is the future. So I started with Amnesia. That was the first VR game I ever played, and it was the dev kit, so of course I puked right after. It was so bad, but it was so good. Like, the fact that things like this exist now, that's amazing.
This is very chill. It's a cool thing to do at the after saving the world.
Ah.
Oh! I put an arrow. Oh my God! I remember the first time I played Super Mario 64, and I moved the joystick around, and he started running around the courtyard, and I was like, there's nothing, I've never done anything like this before, and I started to feel that again with VR, like sort of like, this is the next step, this is a sort of a revolution.
Yeah.
And I think it's like, it's almost there, it's getting to the point where it's like, I think so many games will rely on it, and we'll be able to just put on a headset without wires everywhere. Like,
Yeah.
we're starting to get there, but for now, I think it's like, a really smart next step that's just sort of in its infancy.
It's so hot!
It seems like you guys were having a lot of fun.
It was really fun. Did you see what we
Ew,
were doing?
I look gross. You actually look pretty good.
Really? I don't have I was actually born with VR face, so this is this.
Get the camera out of my face, okay?
The Norwegian Museum of Science and Technology is a massive, sprawling archive of vintage tech, vehicles, computers, and more. You could probably spend entire days walking around and interacting with its seemingly endless array of curated exhibits of technical marvels and revolutionary invention.
I'm glad there's fingerprints on this because I would have just walked right
Actually,
into it.
I was going straight towards it too.
Technology and innovation and invention is really about overcoming the odds. Is there anything like that you've ever faced in your life?
Yeah, I'm from a big family, and we didn't grow up with a lot of money, and success basically looked a very certain way. And when YouTube came along, you couldn't make money doing it. And I just knew it could be something. And I had to just really let people know, no, this is what I'm passionate about, this is what I'm gonna do. Maybe it doesn't look like much now, but it's gonna be something.
Like looking around here, it makes me realize we were surrounded by vehicles that at one point were the fastest car in the world and the newest motorcycle. And we look at them now and they seem antiquated and old fashioned. This is a Porsche. So they've come a long way. Things iterate and they grow and they change, and that's for the better. And sometimes things get left behind, and sometimes things keep progressing, but it's all about fighting forward and persevering, and It's one of the first computers ever made. This entire thing here, and people used to bring them on planes, and then TSA would stop them because it was too much to carry on.
I would say choosing this career path has been constantly knowing how to pivot and staying encouraged while I do that. I think that's what life is about, right? It may not be out there yet, but doesn't mean you can't be a part of creating it.
That was really inspiring.
Thanks. Like and subscribe.
You guys seen one of these before? This is the future. It's a really big thing.
World War II history is woven into the fabric of this city and doesn't always take the form of a statue or large memorial. Stolperstein. Stumbling stones in English, little square golden plaques that commemorate the places where Jewish people lived until they were removed by Nazi soldiers.
You can find them all over the city. They're part of the structure of Oslo.
No, that's amazing. They're part of the city and remembered everywhere, not just one spot. I love that.
It's a subtle, moving, and timeless reminder of the high cost that was paid for the right to be free and the events that paved the way for the Oslo that exists today. Norway in the wintertime can be a icy, frigid place, and one of the best ways to make it feel warmer is by going somewhere even colder, like Oslo's Magic Ice Bar, a bar made almost entirely out of ice, where patrons are provided icy cold drinks as well as gloves and heavy parkas to survive the frigid temperatures.
I'm only wearing this to make Brian feel better about his little Han Solo jacket situation. It's not really that cold, but he feels real cool, so I'm gonna act like I'm freezing and let him be real brave.
But what is your favorite video game ice level?
Mario Kart, I hate the ice levels because I'm a drift master, so I like hugging those corners, and it's just impossible to go max speed around an icy turn without falling off the edge. But is that you? I feel like you like ice levels.
One of my favorites of all time is Super Mario 64. The first time you get thrown in an ice level in that game, it's really adorable because there's like snow everywhere and there's a slide and there's penguins and there's this like penguin that you have to like bring, like she's basically missing her kid. And you go and find the kid and you bring her back to the penguin mom and she's so happy like a star comes out of somewhere of her body.
Mario 64 is so magical though.
It's so magical. It's really cute.
Unlike Zelda, when you like feel horrible for making Link shiver.
Oh my God, yeah, when Link gets cold and he's just like,
yeah, and he starts losing hearts, you're like, wow, what is wrong with me? I am such a jerk.
And I think that's like a good example of like great level design in general, is it teaches you all the stuff that you need to know about the game early on, and then it sort of puts it on tilt.
I mean, that's a great way to look at it.
The lady up front told us that most people who show up here last about 20 minutes, and then they get cold and leave, and that people who are like sort of residents in Oslo can last for hours.
Hours.
Yeah.
How long has it been? How far?
It's been about 10, 20 seconds.
Is that a tear?
It was, it froze.
I saw that, it actually went back up into your eye.
Sure. But it's really good. But it's like the coldest thing I've ever put on my lips.
Oslo is a beautiful, friendly city with a deep history of perseverance, and it's a place I'll be thinking about for a long time.
It's cold.
If you're like me, you probably never thought of it as a nerdy travel destination, but hopefully you do now. Thank you to my co-hosts Meghan and Camarena, the good folks at EA and Battlefield 5 for powering this episode, and to the city of Oslo for having us. And thank you for watching. This episode of Fast Travel is presented by Battlefield 5, out now on PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Without their help, we wouldn't have been able to go to Norway and make this awesome episode, take in its history, and celebrate its rapidly growing love for nerd culture. So for all things Battlefield and even more episodes of Fast Travel, stick with IGN.